Was livid. I told her she had no right to invite her entire school to my house without even asking me first. We got into a big fight about it. Then she told me what she thought of me. NGL. I was sort of devastated to hear this. She called me boring and basic, spoiled and entitled, and now she wasn't joking. She said I had to stick up my ass and needed to learn how to lighten up and have fun. She said I was a daddy's boy, and I cared more about grades and impressing my father than anything. She accused me of being spoiled and having my dad buy my way into college. That one stone because I worked hard through high school to get accepted into a good university, and it was also just like what the F cause here. She was making fun of me for working too hard in school and at the same time saying I didn't earn my spot. So which one is it? Anyway, we fought, and she said nasty things to me. Finally, I told her that if I was so bored, she could find a new and exciting boyfriend to drive her around and pay for everything because I was done. I wish it ended there, but I still had this party rumor flying around at least 2 schools. I didn't want to call my dad about this. I wanted to take care of this on my own, take care of her on my own. I didn't want to admit to my dad that I made a really poor choice in dating her. I didn't want to have my dad bail me out the week she left. I wanted to show I was mature and grown up enough to fix this alone, but I just didn't know how to stop all these people from showing up. So I swallowed my pride, called my dad after school, and told him everything. I tried not to cry, but I did. My dad was mad, but he wasn't mad at me. He thanked me for telling him and reassured me that I had done the right thing. My dad called a friend of his at the sheriff's office. This part I feel some kind of way about because I know how people think about the police right now, and I know that this is something that shows off my privilege. I doubt this would have happened for many other people, but the sheriffs told her they'd post a deputy on our block over the weekend. My dad also sent me a pair of bodyguards for the weekend to ensure no one tried to break in. He said I was allowed to have a few friends over the weekend, but keep it clean. No raging parties. Of course, no mess, etc. You know, standard parent stuff. That week, a few of my close friends stayed with me after school while I cried about all this, and they helped me spread the word that there was no party. Friday came along, and a few of my friends came back home with me after school. We decided we'd do an 80s movie night like I mentioned and put Ferris Bueller on the list. We closed the gate and put up a sign that there was no party. Private security showed up, like my dad said, and we bunkered down for the night and watched many 80s movies. A few people did show up, but they were chased off by the locked gate and the deputy hanging out on the block. We were able to dissuade most of them from showing up. I don't know how many because I stayed inside with my boys playing games and tried to ignore anything happening outside. I felt and continue to feel shitty about it all. First, I feel like I wasted a lot of people's boys from a party. I know that most people could never manage this. It all drove home just how guys from a party. I know that most people could never manage this. It all drove home just how privileged I am and, honestly, how my ex was right that I do live in a different and sheltered world from everyone else. And then there's the murder of my social life, lol. I'm single now with no date to prom, and I caught a lot of poop from a lot of our mutual social circle over this. I've been called spoiled and basic, snitch. Even some of the kids in my school were disappointed. I know many kids in my school who will or have thrown ragers in their parents' houses. So even among some of my friends, I was expected to do so. So besides my closest friends, I'm pretty much a pariah now. But whatever, in the end, I have 2 months left till graduation, and then I'm out. Next fall, I will start college out of state, which will be behind me. After all this happened, I told my dad how the weekend had gone. I teased him and said, "Wow, Dad. You will go to really great lengths to protect your stuff." And he said he wasn't protecting his stuff.